What's up, guys? Zen here, and I kind of want to just go over this Arc 3.0 Titan build I've actually learned to love. Um, when Arc 3.0 first came out, I wasn't really a big fan of the Arc Titan. They changed kind of a lot of how it works, and it just turned me off of it at first. But then, I wanted to give it another shot because I really like the thruster ability. And the flashbang grenades with Touch of Thunder. I mean, once I really started using that, I was getting a lot of success running Peacekeepers with them, because when you're running SMGs, it's really hard to, in this meta, close the gap. Unless you're playing like a Behemoth Titan, but some people don't want to play Behemoth because the super is really bad and not reliable. Or you're running, Bubble with the Overshield and stuff, which is, very good, and some people will say is still the best subclass in the game. But this is what's worked for me with Arc Titan, and it all comes down to this one gun, which is the Out of Bounds. You guys can see it's been a little bit over a week with the new season, and I've already gotten over 1,000 kills with this SMG. This SMG, I think, is the best SMG if you're going to be playing Arc Titan, Arc Warlock, Arc Hunter. I mean, it doesn't have to just be like a Peacekeeper Titan. If you're an Arc Hunter and you like SMGs, this is really great. Arc Warlock, likewise. This SMG is so good just because it's Arc, and with the way the Arc 3.0 subclass works with with getting amplified, if you get a double kill with an Arc weapon, you become amplified, which means you run incredibly fast. You have a very long slide. I mean, it's essentially looks like the slide is what the Behemoth slide is. Like, it feels like the same amount of distance, and you can still do the cool movement tech where you can cancel your Behemoth slide and keep the momentum and Titan skate even faster. You can kind of do the same thing with Arc 3.0, the Arc 3.0 Titan. So I'll just show you this Out of Bounds. It's not max range because I kind of got a little bit screwed over with the barrel, but corkscrew for a little bit of range masterwork, ricochet, heating up or demo. I love heating up. I have that on my God Roll Shires, my 100 range Shires with kill clip, and it's one of the most underrated perks, I think, in the game. You get so much stability. You get the accuracy, man. It feels like you're shooting coconuts out of this gun, like literal coconuts. That's how big the hitboxes feel once you have heating up procced, and it's just really nice for the 900 SMGs because, if you want to get the most out of them, you got to hit headshots. I mean, I think you literally have to hit all crits besides one of them to get the optimal TTK. So heating up just helps a ton with that. And then the perk that makes or breaks really this gun because of its lower range compared to other similar SMGs like Funnel Web, or like I think it has the same amount of range as Callus, but compared to Funnel Web, it's not going to have as much range, so you kind of need rangefinder. In more competitive settings, like in trials, I'll be using the rangefinder one. Yeah, you can get golden tricorn. That's really interesting. I had a lot of fun playing around with my old golden tricorn. Roll before I got this rangefinder one, and that was really fun, really good. I mean, the arc melee, like your knockout melee, since you're not actually even using your proper melee charge, you just have to break the shields of your enemy, and that melee kill counts as an arc ability kill, so then you can proc golden tricorn ×2, which is like insane. You're doing 28s. It's a 50% damage bonus. It's much more than kill clip, and you're killing people ridiculously fast. I think it's really good, really fun in casual games, but I'd say stick to rangefinder if you're gonna want to bring this thing into trials, or you're trying to sweat a little bit in the new SBMM control playlist. Then you have the Crucible Origin trait, which I think is dog shit. You know what I mean? Like, faster reload when you're out of combat. The Omlon one, though, Omlon Fluid Dynamics, this thing is such a good perk, man. You get plus 20 stability, and then it slowly goes down as you shoot down your magazine. And you get a faster reload speed, which you know. What's the point of running this? So you get reload speed with the Omlon one. So, and you know, usually you're gonna want to reload after a kill with SMGs. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. Or you like stow it away with your peacekeepers and then just instantly bring it back reloaded. So, yeah, that's kind of, this is the whole gist of it. What's really dope is I get a double kill. I have heating up ×2. I'm running extremely fast, sliding fast, jumping super high in the air because I'm amplified, and you just can close the gap so fast, which is really helpful in this meta because a lot of people have a hard time tracking you when you're that fast. Also, what then makes the build work, right, by being that aggro, because you can get punished for that, is running Touch of Thunder, which enhances your arc grenades. Not every single one of them, but a good chunk of them. I'm running Flashbangs. So what it does with Flashbangs is, instead of just having the flashbang detonate and you blind people, you can bounce the flashbang first, and that will blind. Almost as like really bad blinding, like for the enemy. Like if you get blinded, you literally can't see shit, but you get 2 blinds essentially if you play it right with the flashbang, which is so good if you know, like a shotgun guy's pushing you and you got to backpedal back. You can just bounce that on the ground, boom, his radar's gone, he's really disoriented if you don't get like a crazy blind on him, and then the grenade blows up and then he's completely blind, and he, you know, he's running like a chicken with no head. He doesn't know where to go, and it's one of the more free kills you can get in, you know, in Crucible these days, in my opinion. Also too, like, you know, you're playing Control and there's a freaking full team of dudes running Dead Man's Tail, Jade Rabbit, No Time to Explain, you know, those long range weapons that people are laning with, and most Destiny maps, you know, they have like 3 dedicated main lanes and they're pretty long, you know, like Convergence or Eternity, things like that, like where, you know, those guns really thrive and it's kind of become the meta. Having that flashbang to help you push is just phenomenal, especially too since I'm running the thruster ability, so I'm not gonna have a barricade. I'm gonna need another way of making, you know, allowing me to close the gap, and the flashbangs have made it so much better for me to be able to do that. You guys have probably seen I'm running double primary. So the past few days I've been running No Time with Out of Bounds. It's a really good combo. Usually I like to SMG. When I SMG and run Peacekeepers, I usually like to shotgun. I'm not really a sniper. But, you know, like I said, with the meta, with the pulse rifles being so strong, scout rifles being much better, it's really helpful to run double primary, especially running No Time. I mean, it's some say it's the best gun in the game, like primary weapon in the game. I'm not gonna argue with that. I'm using it. It's very, very good. I mean, once you get the No Time perk up, you're kind of unbeatable. So this thing is really nice to have in my back pocket, especially if I'm getting guys that are really stubborn and they don't want to push out spawn, or they're holding, you know, and we're spawning up or we're kind of spawn trapped. It allows me to, you know, get a pick at range, which normally I wouldn't be able to do if I was running my Reese Walker, which I run in Rumble a lot. So that's why I've been running No Time. It's really been working out well for me. I'm not giving special to my opponents, and, you know, I have 2 guns at all times, 100% of the time, that I can use, you know what I mean, which is so nice, especially with the special ammo changes. You know, only 2 shots and you only pick up 1 per brick. Like, I see a lot of benefit with running double primary right now. So yeah, and then I run Storm Chaser because it's arc, and I think Storm Chaser is really good in PvP. I mean, you only have to hit 1 out of the 3 bullets shot out of a burst to get a 1-hit kill. Getting like crazy collats too with it, with just 1 shot. It happens pretty frequently. Storm Chaser is great. I like rangefinder on it because linears, they're actually more of like a mid-range weapon. When you get to the further ranges, you really start to notice like the stickiness of the gun, you know, falling off, and you're just not going to be, you could be on their head, but it just doesn't count just because you're out of its range. Rangefinder just helps a ton with that. And then Frenzy, since I play so aggressive, I'm just gonna get a little bit of extra damage buff. So instead of having to hit 3 body shots with a burst, if I had to, I can just 2 body shot, like 1 burst, 2 out of the 3 I can hit, and it will kill him to the body with Frenzy procced, which happens a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. I run, you know, 50 mobility because Peacekeepers gives you approximately 50 mobility. So I'm at 100 mobility technically. To really min-max, I could bring that down to 30 because Out of Bounds is a lightweight weapon, so you get plus 20. But since I'm running double primary, having that extra 20 mobility is really useful. When I have no timeout or I have my Storm Chaser out, to just be a little bit faster, because I don't know if you guys noticed when you're playing Peacekeeper and you swap to something that's not an SMG, it's very noticeable. So just staying around that 50 mobility range feels really nice to me. That's kind of why I did that instead of running 30 with the lightweight weapon. I run 70 resilience because I'm not running a barricade, and the thruster, if I'm pretty certain, has the fastest cooldown out of all the class abilities on Arc Titan. It's only by 2 seconds, but I mean 30 seconds, it's not bad. You know, it's slower than Hunter Dodge, but I feel like I get it all the time. Like, I have my thruster. Also, I'm not using my thruster constantly like I use my barricade. So I really try to hold on to my thruster for moments where I really, really need it. And I just always feel like I have it up with 70 resilience. I feel like 70, 80 resilience is a pretty good sweet spot right now if you don't want to spec too hard and if you don't want to go all in on resilience. 100 recovery, you know, mandatory unless you're like on a hunter with certain builds. You got to be running 100 recovery. It just helps you get back into the fight sooner. 70 discipline. Flashbangs have a pretty fast cooldown. 70, like I said, for me, it's just a nice little sweet spot. And I feel like I get my grenades pretty frequently. I have 60 intellect. I run Thunder Crash. Thunder Crash is solid. I mean, it's one of the slower supers to charge, but I mean, it's not the slowest. So you're definitely going to be getting it at least in a Trials of Osiris game. And it's a good super, man. I mean, it sucks if a Stasis Warlock freezes you or, you know, you'll get shut down real quick. But it's a good super. Very solid in PvP. Just a nice all-around good shutdown super. So that's why I run Thunder Crash, and I'll get it in a Trials game. And then I'm running 50 strength. You could probably even go lower than that since you're running shoulder charge. Like, I run shoulder charge, so like I'm not really trying to be using my melee to get kills. I'm just using it for the movement ability, like the movement tech. So, you know, I would like, you know, if I could eventually, I would love to bring that down to like 20 and then, you know, put the rest in either the resilience or into my discipline. I run stacks on stacks because I have a kind of like a charge with light build. I could get to 100 resilience, but I lose out on some stats because some of the charge with light mods have stat penalties, but it's worth it because you can have so much more uptime on high fire energy, the damage buff from charge with light. I run perpetuation, so I use a class ability to get my class ability back. Powerful friends to get more mobility. I just run invigoration because, you know, that's what I could fit in it, and there's no reason to run SMG holster because that's built into the Peacekeepers. I run double SMG unflinching. I mean, it is so helpful, especially if I get heating up procced. I think like heating up gives like 20 something stability on one stack or something. It's like 15 or 20, and I'm already at 58 stability. On top of then, if I'm at the top part of the mag, I mean, I'm pretty much at 100 stability after one heating up kill on this Out of Bounds, which is so good for flinch resistance on top of then doubling up on unflinching. I highly recommend that. No Time's got such good base stats that I don't need to run a reloader, I don't need to run a targeting, and I don't need to run an unflinching on it. No Time's just so good at just out of the box. That's kind of why I picked No Time. Radiant Light, just give me a little bit, you know, free 20 strength, why not? I run an SMG loader, and that's where I put my high fire energy right there. for the bonus damage, and then I have Charge Harvester, which I don't need to get like a double kill with a specific weapon. No, if you're slaying out, you're playing well, you don't even have to be getting kills. You could be team shotting and getting assists. Passively, the more assists and kills you get, the more likely a cumulative chance that you will become charged with light. And then that with stacks on stacks, instead of just being charged once, you have 2 stacks of charged with light. And you know, that's a 15% damage bonus for 2 kills. It's really good. And then the 2 targetings for SMG, because I mean, it just the double up on the SMG perks, they're so cheap, but you get so much value out of them. That's why I just say, you know, just spec all into it, especially if you're on Peacekeeper Titan. You need to be speccing all into your SMGs. It makes the world of difference for me. So yeah, so that's kind of my build, guys. Hopefully that explains everything. Also too, with the arc, with knockout, you know, you get a melee kill, you become amplified as well, so keep that in mind. But yeah, this is my arc 3.0 Peacekeeper Titan build. Thank you.